Teaching comprehension as a strategic process enables readers to make connections and move beyond literal recall. Despite research suggesting that explicit instruction of reading comprehension strategies improves students' ability to comprehend text, much classroom instruction focuses on measuring comprehension of individual stories or texts that have been read. In the following lessons, you will see comprehension strategy instruction utilizing graphic organizers to facilitate the application of strategies. You will see whole group instruction, which includes teacher modeling and think aloud, followed by guided and independent small group interaction. The small group interactions provide a forum for discussion, provide an opportunity for scaffolding, and reveal understandings and difficulties students may be experiencing. Effective comprehension strategy instruction is explicit or direct. The steps of explicit instruction typically include direct explanation, modeling, guided practice, and application. Okay, boys and girls, we're going to read Kitten's First Full Moon, and we're going to be thinking about what happens in the text so that we can make predictions. Who knows what a prediction is? Yes, Parker?
When you think before it happens.
That's right, when you think about what happens in the text in order to make a kind of like a guess about what might happen next.
Yeah.
That's a prediction. But the most important thing about a prediction is that we have to use the text. So I'm going to do a little bit of thinking aloud. Well, she pulled herself together and wiggled her bottom and sprang from the top step of the porch. But Kitten only tumbled, bumping her nose and banging her ear and pinching her tail. Poor Kitten. I'm going to use that information and I'm going to predict what might happen next. But before we do, in order to fill out the prediction chart, it says, prediction chart, this is what just happened. So, what just happened was that little kitten, my turn, my prediction is that little kitten will climb to the top of the roof, to try to get what she thinks is
milk.
Okay.
The moon.
Now, I'm going to read and I'm going to confirm my prediction. I'm going to see whether my prediction is right or wrong. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting. So she chased it down the sidewalk, through the garden, past the field, and by the pond. But Kitten never seemed to get closer. Poor Kitten. Now, part of my prediction is right because she's still going after the milk. But the way she is going after the milk is not what I predicted.
It's funny.
Very interesting. Still, there was the little bowl of milk just waiting.
She looks mean now.
So, she ran to the tallest tree she could find, and she climbed and climbed and climbed to the very top. Similar to our prediction here. But Kitten still couldn't reach the bowl of milk. And now she was scared. Poor Kitten. What could she do?
She just words and died.
Then in the pond, Kitten saw another bowl of milk. And it was bigger. What a night. Now, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to make another prediction based upon what's happening now. little kitten saw this bowl of milk. Is this really a bowl of milk? No. This is a pond, and I love how you raised your hand.
It's a reflection of the moon.
Okay, that's right. That's exactly what it is. Now, I predict, first of all, let me write what my prediction is based upon. What just happened? Kitten saw another bowl of milk. Saw another bowl of
Milk.
milk.
Today.
And my prediction,
Maybe she's gonna
I think,
she's gonna jump in.
look at where she is here. And look at where the bowl of milk is.
She's gonna jump. She's gonna jump.
What do you think, Lindsay?
She's gonna jump in.
I think that would be my prediction as well. Actually, yes, because she thinks it's milk. So I'm going to write milk.
Milk. M-I-L-K.
Now, let's see. Yes, Tosif?
If she jumps in
Let's listen to Tosif. Sorry, guys. Listen.
If she thinks it was milk and she jumped in the water, then she felt milk, then she licked the water and I don't know what happened.
Okay, let's see. Put your hands down and let's see. My turn.
Because cats.
Let me know when you guys are ready to listen. So she raced down the tree and raced through the grass and raced to the edge of the pond. She leaped with all her might. The light in the jar turned yellow, like a flashlight left on too long. I tried to swallow, but something in my throat would not go down. And the light grew dimmer, green, like moonlight underwater. Now I want you to use your prediction sheet. Put your finger on the box that says this is what just happened, and I want you to fill in that box about what just happened. Okay, boys and girls, what I want you to do now is within your group, I want you to share what you wrote about what just happened in the story. Within your group, you can share. Go ahead, John.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
The boy went to catch fireflies and he caught a lot of fireflies.
Very good. Rita?
Firefly shined at night and he got a lot of fireflies.
Very good.
Like water. Something done is done.
Remember, boys and girls, the last thing that happened that we read was what? What was happening in the story? Corey?
The jar was getting darker.
The jar was getting darker, right? So our prediction is going to be based upon what just happened. Boys and girls, the last thing that happened in the text was that the boy had the jar of fireflies right by his bed. And the light was getting dimmer, right? Based upon that, who can tell me what their prediction was? What did you write? Alberto?
He opened the jar to see what was happening with the fireflies. I think that firefly fell asleep.
Okay, very good. Kylie?
I think the fireflies fell asleep.
Okay.
I didn't do it yet.
Go ahead and read it.
I think it.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Copy me. The jar is getting dark in the night. The light was green like a moon underwater.
But based upon that, Connor, what do you think is going to happen next? Okay. Can somebody over here help him out? Nicholas?
Can I do mine?
Yes.
Oh, I think the fireflies are going to die.
Okay, very good. Boys and girls, you are going to read the story Roller Coaster. And just like we did yesterday, we made predictions using our prediction chart. And in order to do that, first we have to think about what's in the book or the text. And we're going to write what happened and use that information to make a, everyone? Prediction. Now, the prediction needs to be based upon what happened in the text. So, this is your opportunity to show me that you can make a prediction from the text. Now, what I've done is I marked 2 places. Don't open your book yet, just look here. I've marked 2 places in the book with 2 little tabs. When you get to the first one, don't turn the page. I want you to stop right there. Write in the first box about what happened. And before you turn the page, I want you to make a prediction. Then, after you make your prediction, you can turn the page and read to confirm your prediction, to see if it's what you predicted. Then, after you do that, you're going to continue reading until you get to the second little marker. And that's when I want you to stop. Write what happened and
make a prediction.
Right here and make another prediction.
And then we're done.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's right. Go ahead and start reading.
I got a book.
Yes, John.
Do we
No, you're not gonna go. You're not gonna look
right
ahead.
here? Do we stop right here?
Yes, you stop right where you read that page and then you stop. Okay, you guys read Roller Coaster, and you stopped at 2 points in the book. You wrote about what just happened at those 2 points, and you also made a prediction. Who would like to share what happened at the first marker? What did you write there, Nicholas?
The little girl was trying to get up to
The carousel? Very good. So, if the little girl was trying to get up to the carousel, Simon, raise your hand if you wrote that same thing. That's the last thing that happened. Or something very similar. What did you write, Kylie?
He saw a girl trying to get on the carousel as the ride was about to start.
That's an excellent sentence. That is really great. Same idea, though. Mickey saw the girl trying to get onto the carousel.
I did very good.
That's fine. What did you write?
What?
That's right, because the girl was trying to get onto the carousel. Now, what might have happened if the little girl went near the carousel when it was moving around? Nick?
She could have got up.
That's right.
She could have got up.
That's right. That's right. Now, because Mickey noticed the girl going toward the carousel and warned her, and he said, watch out. What did you predict would happen next? Simon? She would stop? Just by herself? After he said, watch out, she's just going to stop. Is that what you think? Because that's a good prediction. If somebody says, watch out to me, I might stop. What do you think, Kylie?
I think Mikey is going to help her.
Very good. You think he might go after and help her?
That's what it is.
And is that what you wrote too? No. Now what actually happened...
I was stuck on this one.
That's okay. What actually happened in the text? After Mickey shouted to the little girl, what actually happened? John?
Mickey he was running to save her.
That's right. He ran toward the little girl. The carousel started up, knocking the little girl backward. Mickey caught her just in time. So, are any of your predictions incorrect?
One of them is, but the other one isn't.
Well, it's not really incorrect. It was just a prediction can't be incorrect.
I'm not sure.
Because you're predicting.
I didn't finish my book, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, look at the second marker and tell me what happened. You didn't finish yours yet.
No, I said no.
Okay. What happened at the second marker before you made your prediction? Done?
Daisy's father bought them tickets for the ride.
That's right. Is that what you have, Kylie? What did you write?
Daisy and her dad said that Mickey didn't know and Amber can go as whatever ride they do.
Very good. So you have pretty much the same thing, but you have a lot more details in yours, right? So if Mickey saved Daisy, and Daisy's dad said, because you saved my little girl, you can go on whatever rides you want, and I'll pay. But now wait a minute. We have to also think about, what was Mickey's fear, Simon? That's right. He had a fear of roller coasters. So now that Mickey saves Daisy, and Daisy's father said, oh sure, you can go on whatever rides you want. What did you predict would happen, John?
I think Mickey is going to go on the ride anywhere.
Okay. On what ride? The roller coaster?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you predict?
I think that Mickey is going to go on the roller coaster.
Very good. What did you predict, Simon?
I didn't write it, but I know. That's the one I said. What's up on both of these?
You think that Mickey's going to go on the roller coaster? What do you think? What do you think he's going to do? Okay. And what actually happened?
He went on the roller coaster.
And hold on one second. He went on the roller coaster, and at the end, was he scared? Or did he have...
He was scared. He had fun. He had fun. Great. He felt great.
You liked it, huh?
Yeah.
Very good.
I already knew it.
Okay.
Because I read the whole book.
Alrighty. Boys and girls, we're going to read a story today called Brave Irene. And the author is William Stagg. Raise your hand if you've heard of him before. Okay. You can put your hands down. We're going to read Brave Irene, and we're going to pay particular attention to the events that happen in the story. Now, an event is just like an important thing that happens. And as we read, I'm going to be thinking aloud a little bit about some of the events that happen. Now, before we read, let's look at the cover and see if we can gain some information and activate our prior knowledge about what this story might be about. So let's look on the cover. Put your hands down because I just want to think aloud a little bit. And I want you to understand how I'm thinking. First of all, I can see here on the cover that it is snowing. Now I have been in the snow out in a place called Lake Tahoe, where it's very, very cold. And I can see that this must be Irene, because it says Brave Irene. This must be her. She's carrying a very heavy package, it looks to me like. And I remember carrying something heavy myself. Now can you imagine? She's in the icy cold snow. She's carrying something heavy, and she doesn't look like she's doing very well, although you never know. But we're going to read and find out. With great care, Irene took the splendid gown down from the dummy and packed it up into a big box with plenty of tissue paper. "Dress warmly, Pudding," her mother called in a weak voice, "and don't forget to button up. It's cold out there and windy." Irene put on her fleece-lined boots, her red hat and muffler, her heavy coat, and her mittens. She kissed her mother's hot forehead 6 times, then once again made sure she was tucked in snugly and slipped out with the big box, shutting the door firmly behind her. Now, I'm thinking right now that this is an important event because what's happening is Irene is going to do what? She's going to venture out into the cold snow. And I kind of got a clue about that also here. So I kind of predicted that that might happen because her mother was sick, that she was going to deliver the dress that her mother made to the Duchess herself. Now, we could probably make many predictions right now about what might happen. But that's not going to be our purpose right now. Our purpose for reading is going to be to talk about the events in the story. And this is one very important event, I think. She blamed it on the wind. "Keep quiet," she scowled. "You've done enough damage already. You've spoiled everything, everything." The wind swallowed up her words. Can the wind really swallow?
No, it's a metaphor.
That's right. It's very good. She was cold and alone in the middle of nowhere. Irene was lost. Now, I think that's a very important event to the story. It's part of the plot. So, yep, so close to the palace where she needs to deliver the dress, which she doesn't even have. Poor Irene. Maybe the title should be Poor Irene. But she is brave.
Brave Irene.
Now, let's see here. And never ever see her mother's face again. Her good mother who smelled like fresh baked bread. In an explosion of fury, she flung her body about to free herself and was finally able to climb up on her knees and look around. How to get down to that glittering palace? As soon as she raised the question, she had the answer.
The box let in.
She laid the box down and climbed aboard, but it pressed into the snow and stuck. She tried again, and this time, instead of climbing on, she leaped. The box shot forward like a sled. The wind raced after Irene, but couldn't keep up. In a moment, she would be with people again, inside where it was warm. The sled slowed and jerked to a stop on the paving stones. The time had come to break the bad news to the Duchess. Now the bad news is that she's come all this way and she doesn't even have what she really wanted to deliver. But can you imagine she's going to go anyway and tell the Duchess? I think that's very brave. maybe this was impossible. Yet there it was, a little way off and over to the right, hugging the trunk of the tree, the beautiful ball gown. The wind was holding it there. Another. The wind was holding it.
Wonderful. I said wonderful.
Mama, Irene shouted. Mama, I found it. Now, to me, this right here. She went all this way with the empty box, and she finally gets to the Dutch's house
And finds it.
and she found the gown. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
That's a very important.
I found that
Okay.
one too.
Is that what you predicted, Simon?
Me too.
That is a very important event to the text, to the story, actually. Early the next morning, when the snow had long since ceased falling.
Stop.
Very good. This is exactly what we're going to do when we do our story graph. We're going to write the events down here at the bottom, and we have space for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events, and then we're going to kind of graph it so that we can show which events are most important. Who can remember what first happened in the story? Kylie?
Irene's mom made a dress.
Very good. Irene's mom made a dress. And we're going to write that right here. Mom
Got
made a
gown.
What happened after Irene's mom, Mrs. Bobbin, made the gown? Joseph? That's right. Irene's mom got sick. So Irene packed up the gown and went into the snow to deliver the gown. Now, I'm visualizing right now, and I have a picture in my mind of what happened in the text where Irene is having a very difficult time in the snow. And what happened next? Now, here's a problem. We only have one space for one more event, so who can come up with the next very most important event of the whole story? Parker.
She saw the gown at the house.
And where was the gown, actually?
On the tree.
Okay, very good. Look here, guys. We have all of our important events here. And now what I want to do with each event, Sammy, is I want to start here at the circle. And the lower the line is, it means that it's not important. But the higher the line is, that means it's important. So, Irene's mom made a gown. If I draw a line up, do you think that's very important or not so important or somewhere in the middle? I agree. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle. Irene's mom made a gown, maybe about right there.
I think it's right on the line.
Okay. How about Irene's mom got sick?
Not important.
Raise your hand if you want to help out. Let me know what you think. Alexa?
Not important.
You don't think it's important that she got sick?
No. Yes.
Corey?
Yes. It's important.
Okay, why do you think it's important to the text, to the story? Okay, good. Maybe if Irene's mom hadn't got sick, what might have happened? Alberto?
She could have delivered it quicker.
That's right. Her mom may have delivered it herself, right? So Irene's mom got sick. I think that's pretty important, don't you? I'm going to put it kind of up here.
No, it's not important.
Now, there's no right or wrong. This is just how we feel about the events in the text and how important they are to the story. Irene packed up the gown and went into the snow to deliver the gown.
Important.
Raise your hand if you feel that is not important to the story. Okay, raise your hand if you feel that it's very important to the story. Wow. Very good. I agree. I think that Irene packed up the gown and went into the snow to deliver the gown is very important. You think it should go all the way up?
Yes.
I agree. Now, the wind blew the box from Irene's hands. Raise your hand if you think it should go somewhere up here in the top part.
No.
Somewhere down here?
Yes.
Some about the middle? Okay, my turn. Listen. Irene tried to get the box, and she got the box. But there was nothing in it, right?
Gigantic.
Now, here we go. Listen. When Irene got to the palace, she saw the gown on a tree.
Yes, important.
All the way up. Boys and girls, we're going to read The Fox and the Crow, and you guys are going to work by yourselves. I'm going to help you out, and you're going to make a story graph like we did earlier. Put your book flat for a minute. And as you're reading, what are some of the things that we need to think about when you are creating a story graph? Proceed. Okay. The details about what? Okay. Lindsay? When we make the story graph, what do we need to write down here? The what? I'm thinking of a word that begins with E. The events, right? So as you're reading, you're going to think about the important events from the story, because when you're finished, you are going to create your own story graph. Okay? Go ahead and you're going to read with your whispering voices and think about those important events as you read. You read The Fox and the Crow, and you thought about the most important events, and you wrote the most important events on your story graph. So who would like to share the first event that they have? Joseph?
The crow found the cheese, the fox wanted the cheese, the crow went up the tree.
Very good. Okay, so the crow found the cheese would be the first event, right? And what happened after that? What is your second event? Very good. And then what happened after the fox saw the crow with a piece of cheese? Corey?
The crow saw the cat.
Okay. And what happened after that? Lindsay? After the crow saw the fox, what happened, Lucy?
The fox wanted a piece of cheese and the crow didn't give it to him, so the fox had a plan.
Okay, and what was the fox's plan, Alyssa? What was the fox's plan? Okay, speak up a little bit. To do what? Very good. So he said, I see that you have beautiful black wings in the land. And what was he trying to get the crow to do? Taryn? Very good. And what happened at the end? What is the final event on your story graph? Lindsay? What happened finally? The crow sang, and what happened to the cheese that was in his mouth, Alyssa? It fell out. And what did the fox do?
Gobble up the cheese.
He did. Now, at the very beginning, how important do you think it was to the story that the crow saw a piece of cheese? Okay. Alyssa, I see you have yours here. Alyssa said that hers is about at the middle line. It's not very, very important, but it's not unimportant either. No? Can I help? Can I share? She wrote, the crow flew up to the tree, and she thought that was a very important, pretty important event. Very good. Excellent job, though. What about the final event? The final event in the story, when the fox finally got the cheese. You don't think that's important? What do you think?
I think it's important, but I just missed the...
Oh! You know what, Tosif? I think you're right. Look what Taryn thought, obviously, according to this, that when the fox got the cheese at the end, that was one of the most important things in the story. And I agree with you. That's the very end. Great job, guys. You did a really great job.